All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back here for another recap video. So today we had PCSA, which we were looking at pre-market, LVTX, which we were taking a look at as well, and ONCO and RVSN were the stocks in play today. So right out of the gates, PCSA kind of ripping right into the open. Very nice, opening surge here. We came down and tested the previous pre-market highs. Looks like we did hold VWAP and the previous pre-market highs and curled back up and squeezed through the highs. Very beautiful chart looking, in hindsight, but in the moment, man, like this was tough price action. For me, I was having a lot of trouble timing PCSA and also with the mixture with the spreads. I felt like my spreads were always on the ask for some reason and always on the bid. I gave it my best shot here with some decent trades, some decent sized trades, but I felt like I was always giving back profits. One step forward, one step back. Was my sort of like experience today on PCSA. Some small gains here and there, and then giving back. So I never really got to hold on to any profits, but as you can see, this candle here, I traded 6,000 in, 6,000 out. A couple of these candles, 4,000 in, 4,000 out, 6,000 in, 6,000 out. So, some decent size, just wasn't able to connect. Wasn't able to get any decent, nice trades. And the breakout was very challenging to time as well. I can pull this up. By the way, here I'm finishing green, $44. I'm up $44. Can pull up just the archive here, and I just want to show these breakouts, how they're so challenging to time. So the first one, no, this is the wrong clip. So the first breakout here, curl up to the high. I was waiting for an entry. You could have got that entry through the high. And it looks like I waited. See, we didn't even see that breakout there. It broke out, but never really broke out. It was really weird. And then it hesitated for a second and then finally just teleported all the way up to the halt level. Didn't even really give me time to get in up to 479. And then on the halt resumption, on the first RVSN halt resumption, I also took a pretty nasty loss here as well. Not really that nasty, only $60 loss, but. And then here again, we had that same action. So dip. I want to get in here for this breakout. I'm in 500 shares. Now I'm selling here on that pop. And I get a nice, 10 cents. And then it just surges straight up, kind of just teleports. And continues all the way up to 550. And then way extended here. And then we just teleport again up to the next halt level. Crazy, crazy move. One of the best entries, though, which I should have sized in bigger, was right here. See if it's going to show it here if I have to rewind. This candle sells off all the way back down to 480. So this is a panic dip buy within the 1 minute candle. And no, not yet. Here it comes. Boom, right there. And boom, right here. You want to get long right here. Panic dip buy, literally a 60-cent dip in price here. What are the chances this is going to reverse and go another 60-cent lower? Probably pretty low. Probably the chances of that pretty low. And we seem to be, holding the low here. So I want to be in here 2K shares, 1,500 shares, or 1,000 or 1,500 shares. What I was trading here at the open. And I only take 100 shares, but I make a nice 15-cent, 20-cent trade there. My best exit from 480. 480 was the entry, and then 515 was my best exit. So that's a 35-cent trade there. Very, very nice trade. That was probably the best trade that I had as far as percentage wise goes. We can pull up my metrics for today, and then from there on PCSA, we kind of just kind of chopped around, and eventually, having that double top rejection off the highs and fading to the low. And now in after hours, it's surging back up. Surging back up after hours, and now we're up on the day 277%. Pretty crazy move. On the daily chart, I called this out pre-market, during the pre-market pump, because I liked it. It was similar to the EVAX setup. Remember, we traded EVAX yesterday. EVAX chart, let's take a look at this. So PCSA, selling off on the daily charts, very oversold here. It's a low float. We finally published some news here off the lows, and we get that surge and squeezing out from the previous recent high, which is 750. It looks like we topped out there at 784 in after hours. Very similar to EVAX. Take a look at EVAX. Similar chart. Selling off, selling off, selling off. And what they both had in common was they both had a reverse split right in this area. Not too long ago, they had a reverse split, which decreased the float by a significant factor. And then after that, we published news, and we rip and break the previous high. So, and we even broke $12 too. So pretty strong there. So that's why I liked PCSA coming into the open, because it had that same setup. And we might continue to see it tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. It does seem that we could have a little bit of room, maybe up to 10, 11, or 12. But we'll see. This one was a tough one, though. I really struggled with this one. I felt that it was real heavy in here, and I was just getting chopped around. And then we finally squeezed up, and I just completely mistimed everything. I had a decent trade in here, a 10-cent trade in here, but still 10 cents. The stock went like $2, $1.50, and I get 10 cents, which is okay. A base hit, but I feel like I should have been able to perform better here. I did time this dip pretty nicely. This is also another one of my better trades. I pretty much bottom ticked that for the entry, and I sold quick at like 5.14, 5.16, somewhere in there. But if I would have held that, could have got another 50 or 60 cents out of that. So I also have to work on that. If I do have a really good entry towards the low, and it's immediately resolving into a bottoming tail wick, then maybe I can be a little bit more patient with scaling out of that winner. And then from here, I was really skeptical. Well, I was really skeptical here because we just had a $2 a share move. What's the chances that this is going to break out and continue higher? After a $2 move, it's pretty extended, so I kind of figured we'd see a false breakout there. So I was able to avoid that. And I did catch a couple dips in here and in here, which resulting in some small gains, but I'm sure I gave back as well. Then in this area, very decent, surge back up to the high, breaking that pivot point, these pivot points here, and testing the highs here. It looks like we break out by a couple cents, and I had a feeling again that we were going to reject after we didn't have a nice clean breakout. It kind of broke out and hung around that price a little bit. I had a feeling that shorts are just going to use that to add to their position rather than covering. So that was PCSA when we started fading, and I'm sure shorts got in pretty heavy here. Maybe taking some profits, but then wow, look at this after hours. I hope the shorts are doing all right, because they could be underwater and stop losses don't trigger in after hours, so they could be waking up tomorrow with a nice fat loss. So we'll see in PCSA if we get continuation. So far, it does look pretty juicy for tomorrow. The market's definitely warm. And I want to keep, share size high and continue with being aggressive. I can take a look here. Let's take a look here at my statistics for today. It could have been a decent day. You know, on a normal day, you know, I probably could have had a $300 or $400 day. But my profit factor was just really weak today. So we can pull this up here. So $743 in total winnings, $700 in losses, only 5% profit margin. So pretty much a break-even day. Average position costs, you know, pretty decent. You know, I wouldn't want anything lower than that. I really should actually be pushing it even harder, and I would have pushed it harder if I felt like I was connecting on PCSA at the open. I was trading 1,000 to 1,500 shares on PCSA, and I just wasn't connecting. And if I'm not connecting, then I need to, you know, not push it even farther, because I'm already getting the signal that what I'm doing is not working. The information that I'm reading on the stock doesn't seem to be corresponding with my strategy. You know, I'm either mistiming. A lot of it was just mistiming. I was mistiming the dips. I was mistiming the breakouts. And that caused me to give back a lot of profits. But if I felt like I was connecting, then I probably would have bumped it up to 2K shares or 2,500. So then I just got to wait for, you know, the right moment where I'm connecting with the stock. Because if you're not connecting with the stock, there's no reason to push if you're not making any progress. Like if you're trading 1,000 shares and you can't even, you know, get a nice 5 or 10 cent trade, then why would you bump it up to 2,000? You know, you should always make sure that what you're trading is something that you have a good read on. That's something that you're trending in the right direction in your P&L before you start to scale it up. Because sometimes days like this happen. You know, you do have a decent gapper. For me, like PCSA was a decent gapper. A lot of people did well on it, but for some reason, I couldn't time it. I couldn't time the dips. I felt like, you know, every time I took a dip, I just felt like it wouldn't bounce. Like I felt like I just wouldn't get that spring. And that caused me to kind of fumble break even or taking losses on the spread. And on the breakout, like for example, this breakout, like we broke out, but the bid was hanging at 420 and the ask was like 440, 450. Then we finally surge up with giving me no room to get in. I get a nice entry here, get a nice 10-cent trade. I also bought the dip here, and I think I took a loss on the spread, even though it resulted in a nice trade. And that happened a lot, actually. There's a couple times, I think, where was it? I think I had like a really good dip, couple of dip buys, maybe in here, or like I had the right idea and the price action was like looking like it was a green trade, but my fills are like in the red, which was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that was like the theme of this stock for me. Just bad executions, bad timing, bad fills. So if I can dial in tomorrow on the next stock, the next hot stock, you know, that would be great. You know, it seems like the market's heating up. Market's warm right now, so I want to keep riding this momentum. So far, the month of January is pretty decent, pretty consistent. Only 3 red days, 3 small red days, and you know, I'm pretty consistent. You know, a decent over $100, $200. My biggest day of the year, $611 yesterday. So I want to keep that up. And it's a good start for the year. And I want to scale it up even more from here. It's only up from here, and I need to keep my size high, because if I'm trading 1,500 shares at PCSA at the open, if I'm connecting on 1,500 shares, let's say if I get a couple 10-cent winners, 2 10-cent winners, I am up $300. I'm up $300 on the first 2 trades out of the open, or first handful of trades at the open. And if I'm up $300 and off 2 trades, off 2 great trades at the open, let's bump it up 2,500 shares, you know? Let's bump it up to 2,500. Let's say I get another 10 cents on that. That's add another 250. I'm up 550 on the day, and that's only with 10-cent winners. You know, some of these you can get 20 cents or 30 cents. And in that case, you're getting up close to 1K in the day. So I want to keep my like starter size around that 1K to 1,500 shares, because any lower than that, I'm kind of just selling myself short. You know, I'm selling myself short. I think I'm comfortable enough to manage the risk of 1,000 shares or 1,500 shares on a stock like PCSA. And if I'm connecting, you know, double it up to 2,000 or 2,500, and take it from there. Take it from there and really, you know, push it. But I never really felt like I was in the driver's seat today. So that's it. Small green day. You know, it is what it is. At least I'm not red. I'm just gonna, you know, continue to study up, review my live trading archive. Hopefully, yeah, tomorrow we can see something hot again. Hopefully you see something nice and hot again tomorrow. So thank you guys for tuning in for this recap video. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me on the way out if you're a new viewer. And I will catch you guys tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time for the pre-market bump. All right, peace. Have a good night.